So you're decorating your house, you find lots of pretty paintings, some mirrors, nicely ornate frames, but you feel like you're just missing something. Just something's missing. What could it possibly be? Well, my friends, welcome to today's video. I wanted to chat about some unique ways that you could incorporate more vintage items into your home. And some of these things you might be aware of already, they might already be in your home, or there might be things you haven't even thought of getting or inquiring that would look wonderful in your houses. So let's jump right into the video. Let's talk chalkware and wall plaques. So you can find a variety of these nowadays. However, there are some beautiful, beautiful styles you can find at antique shops or thrift stores if you keep your eye out. I find that you can source them on online sellers like Etsy or Poshmark or Mercari. However, you are most likely going to find a really fantastic deal at a local thrift shop. I found the majority of mine at Goodwill, actually, which kind of makes me sad because then it makes me think someone passed away, but thank you, whomever donated all that stuff. Anywho, sorry, that was totally off course, but chalkware was a really unique way of decorating because it adds another textile element to your walls that isn't just a mirror or maybe an embroidery or a painting. It's an actual 3D element, which can look really nice, especially on a gallery wall where you might have a lot of paintings, which can be beautiful on their own. But chalkware, I don't know, there's something about it that I just love. The rawness of the material as well as the uniqueness, because a lot of the times you can see they were usually hand painted, so there are some flaws in it, which I find adds a nice amount of charm to the pieces. But I would say my favorite type of chalkware would have to be in the mid-century modern Regency era, which was just full of the beautiful kind of ornate styled frames, the gold. Yeah. But another thing would be wall plaques. Now these were usually made out of resin or plastic. It really differs like on tastes. Of course, home decor totally is a personal, journey that you go through, and what one person likes, another person might not like. So wall plaques I find can kind of be hit or miss with some people because they can sometimes have a maybe plastic appearance to them. I find any wall plaques or wall pockets that were quite popular in the 80s were usually made out of hard plastic, which of course looked like plastic. So it depends what kind of aesthetic and vibe you're going for, but a lot of the 60s and the 1950s wall plaques and wall pockets were made of a resin type of plastic, which had slightly more of a slight weight to them, so they didn't feel so cheap, I guess you could say. But that is another really, really beautiful element that you can add to your home decor that adds just some visual interest to your walls. And if you feel like you're not too sure what to put a wall plaque or chalkware. That's if you don't want to put up wall art, but I do love that option. So number 2 is wall sconces. These can be candle wall sconces or light fixtures. We do have some light sconces in our dining room, but they are not hardwired in because there never were lights there. But you can find some really beautiful old wall sconces that are, adapted to be plugged in Mind you, you do want to be careful with the wiring though, because some of them can be quite finicky and possibly a fire hazard. So just make sure they're safe in that way. You can also find like modern day light wall sconces that are quite pretty, that have some ornate glass on them. But I do love the look of the old, yeah, wall sconces. Candle wall sconces are a lot of fun. I started, gosh, I have quite a few of them now. Once I got one, I wanted to put them everywhere because I just thought they added such a beautiful charm to the space. I do use battery operated candles on the majority of them, and I do have some in the hallway that go up to the second floor, but I don't light them because I can just imagine the amount of soot that would get on the wall. I don't know, I've never ventured to light them. I don't know if I would trust it too though, but they add a lovely, I don't know, coziness to the space. They add a really nice charm to them. You can always, you know, be a little extra and add bows to them, which I do like to do. Or crystals. That's another thing I did with the ones in our bedroom. I find it just adds a little bit of a Regency kind of look to them, which I really like. But you can have a lot of fun with these. I have found quite a few of them at Goodwill that are probably more so from the 90s, that are just wood, but you can paint them. And I chose to paint the ones in my kitchen pink. Of course, pink. Anyhow, yeah, here are some, again, inspiration photos. They're lovely to incorporate into gallery walls, or to even create some symmetry in a room, which is usually how I like to use them. Now, to me, this is a really fun one. Number 3, Doilies and Textiles. Of course, you've been to your grandma's house and you see the doilies on the table and the coffee table, and those are all beautiful, and I love that. I do use a lot of table scarves and doilies, table runners. However, you should think outside the box and try them on your furniture. So I used a table runner, and it was stained in the center, but I simply just cut it to measure equally on either end of the table runner where it was embroidered, and I just stitched the end, and I use them now on end tables or on my accent chair in my living room. And I find it just adds just another visual element to look at. I don't know, I love going into a room and having things to look at, if that makes sense. I know some people can find it a little bit too overstimulating or overwhelming, but I love, I guess, being taken in by, wow, all the things to look at. So that's one element I like to do. Another thing I did is I used an old tablecloth that was my husband's grandmother's. She cross-stitched some flowers and butterflies on it, and we have this really simple plywood door. I don't even know if it's plywood, but we have a very simple door that leads to our basement in the kitchen. And it's just plain, there's no paneling on it or anything, but I kind of thought, wow, this would be a beautiful place to put it, and that way it doesn't end up getting risked to be ruined. I love tablecloths, but we have 2 toddlers and I'm very messy myself, so I prefer things that I can just easily wipe down than having to possibly scrub and get stains out of. So I thought it was a really beautiful way to display it without, you know, having it tucked in a drawer. And another table runner that was quite a unique size, that it's very, very wide. However, it has these really beautifully stitched flowers on, and I have used that on the piano bench just to create a slight little cushion around the edges of the bench, because I'm really picky when it comes to corners of things. Is anyone picky about cutlery? Like when you hold the cutlery and it feels rough on your fingers? I don't know. That's what it makes me think of though. But yes, I absolutely love the amount of fun you can have with doilies. I put them everywhere. I put them on cabinets, on tables, yes. And you can find them, such beautiful ones too that are handmade, just at local thrift shops as well for super affordable prices. So that's a really fun way to add color or texture to a space. And last but not least, we have number 4, which is Chinaware. As you've probably noticed the trend here, I am very much inspired by grandma design, grandma interiors, okay? And when I think about it, it makes sense. Like, our grandmothers have a very curated style because they've lived long lives, so they've seen a lot of things and they get things passed down to them. So anyhow, all this to say, I am highly inspired by grandmas in many ways, many ways. But anywho, that was totally random. But Chinaware, plates, guys, put plates on your walls. There are such beautiful plates out there. I'll show you some photos here of some that I just find to be absolutely gorgeous. They can be in your kitchen, in your dining room. Heck, I've seen some in bathrooms and bedrooms. And I'm almost positive I might eventually put plates everywhere in my house, just all over the walls. But maybe I won't, that's a little far. But I did go so far as to put plates in the master bedroom. I know. But I don't regret it. So we have this beautiful painting in the center with our candle wall sconces, and I knew I wanted something between the painting and the wall sconces. And I knew it had to be plates, and they had to be pink. So I found these plates at Goodwill, which was fantastic because I had been eyeing some on Etsy and they were quite a bit more expensive. But I love them in our bedroom. I have them, of course, in our kitchen above my china cabinet, as well as in the living room and dining room. And I don't think I have them anywhere else yet. Anyhow, yeah, so you can have a lot of fun with china plates. You can use them to display things, you can use them on your walls, you can use them as little trinket catchers, which are really great for like keys and stuff. Or it's even nice to see a china cup display. There are some really pretty ones out there. Or even just getting a little tea caddy and putting your favorite little teacups in them, so that not only are they accessible so you can use them for when you have company or guests, or even when you want to have a nice cup of tea, but it also looks so pretty. I love it. Well, we have come to the end of my list. I know it was a really short and brief list, and heck, you may have watched this and thought I already knew all that. And if you did, well, thank you for watching anyway. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, even though it may not be new information for you. But if it was, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know. I know as I've been going on this decorating journey, we've been in this house now for 4 years. And it was the first home I've really ever decorated, so I feel like I'm still very new to all this, if that makes sense. But I'm having so much fun decorating and finding out what my style is and curating it and allowing time to, I don't know, help me figure out what I want my home to be. I think we can all learn a lesson that don't rush on getting things. Take your time. And that's what makes thrifting and antiquing so fun, is it usually takes time because you usually have to know what you're looking for. Anyhow, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your week. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. It's totally free. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.